الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم وبلغ رسوله الحبيب الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Respected elders and brothers, glory be to Allah, our Rabb, sustainer, our Khaliq, creator, and our Razzaq, our provider. He who has taken on the duty and responsibility of providing for us from the time or the inception or the conception when the mother conceived the child in her womb. The whole system that takes place within the womb, the various different stages which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran al-Karim. And just this one ayah or there's few ayahs in Surah Nur, a doctor of Malaysia read out its translation in front of a big seminar that was held for all the doctors of the world. And at the end, he mentioned the discussion of the fetus development within the womb of the mother. I'm not going to go into reading the ayat and translating it. It's right on the first page of the 18th para at the bottom. If anybody wishes, they can look it up and see the translation, so they can also learn and benefit. See the beauty of our Quran al-Karim. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْعَلَقَةَ مُضْغَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِظَامَ لَحْمًا ثُمَّ أَنشَأْنَاهُ خَلْقًا آخَرَ فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ لَمَيِّتُونَ ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ تُبْعَثُونَ. From the inception, time of birth, till what is going to happen till the day of Qiyamah, mentioned in this 3 verses or 4 verses of the Quran al-Karim. And on hearing that, many professors said it is impossible for a human in such a concise manner to explain the whole system of the development of the fetus. This is beyond human capacity, and they brought Iman when told this is from the Quran, the Kalamullah. We are those who claim to believe in the Quran. We are those that say our life is based on the Quran in accordance to the teachings of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we call ourselves Muslimin. There is a difference between being a mu'min and a Muslim. The condition of being a mu'min is the condition that only Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala knows properly. To explain this difference between the two, an incident happened in the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Sahaba Ridwanullah alayhim ajma'in were sent out on an expedition. And the place they were sent to, on the outskirts they found a shepherd that was grazing his flock. And on seeing the Muslims, they approached him, being from the same village that they were supposed to go and attack due to what they had done. They went to him, and on seeing them, when he turned around seeing them, he said, Assalamu alaikum. And salam is that special greeting that we are blessed as the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, concerning the very same salam, when the malaika who came to give him the glad tidings of having the son Ismail, as they entered his house, they said salam. And he also said, Qala salama. He said salam in this thing, but he was shocked because it was not the custom of greeting. This custom is been given to the mu'mineen specially. And that's one of the reasons also we are called Muslimin. Because what is salama? To being safe and having peace. And Islam is when you are submissive. You accept what full, like a soldier who is given a command in the army. Does he have any even thought of breaking the command? Can he even think of going against what he is instructed to do? He will be immediately court-martialed. And Islam really means the same, that in Qadu, what they were told they accepted and are willing to do. They were submissive to it, accepted it as the command of Allah, and fully practiced upon it without any denial. So therefore, even a portion of a verse of the Quran al-Kareem, if we deny, can we still be Muslim? No. You are out of Islam. Denial of any injunction of the Quran is kufr and irtidad. So, what we can also understand that Islam has to do with our deeds and our relations with society. And Iman has to do with the unseen. And it's the condition between you and your Allah. Allah knows its reality. This incident happened on them hearing him making salam. The Sahaba doubted because they were attacking and they felt that he used the salam as a means of protection. And in the mix they attacked him, he retaliated and he was killed. This information, some of the Sahaba were not happy about it. And it was a senior Sahabi who, in mistake, killed him. At that time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was informed, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam called out. And he asked the question, هل شققت قلبه? Did you split his heart open? هل رأيت ما في قلبه? Did you see what is in his heart that you deny that he has no iman? You know, the story just comes, and maybe it's meant to be said. Many a times when there are new Muslims witnessing the action, when they start doubting the Imam, we say they got no Imam. They're just playing, they only want money. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals an ayat. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, idha darabtum fi sabilillah, fatabayyanu, wa la taqulu liman alqa ilaykum salama lasta mu'mina. O you who believe, when you go out into the path of Allah to fight, before doing anything, don't just make mere utterances. فَتَبَيَّنُوا. Go and do your research. Clarify the matter. And don't say the person who made salam to you is not a believer. Because Iman has to do with that which is hidden within your heart. No human can see what is in the next person's heart. A person will be doing the most of deeds, but what is in his heart? Allah knows. Outwardly he is doing, that's why we call them Muslim, because they are doing the deeds of Islam. Munafiqeen were there. There was a list of them, but nobody was called. Only the leader was known because of the ayat. Outwardly, they show good deeds. Outwardly, they pretend to be Muslim. But within, they harbor hatred for Islam. So, Iman has to do with the spiritual, and Islam has to do with your physical. You find a person doing everything wrong, not showing any signs of Islam, but yet, when you tell him, listen, if you claim to be a Muslim, do action. If mistaken, and this is unfortunately because the normal people don't understand the difference, that Iman has to do with the inner. You say, how can you judge my Islam? When Islam has to do with deeds. Iman is yours between you and your Allah. And any punishment that is in this dunya that is mentioned in Sharia is on your Islam, not on your Iman. So even mentioning I am a Muslim requires that the person be a Muslim. So we should understand that Allah has blessed us, that He made us from the Muslimin. And Ibrahim alayhi salam as I mentioned previously, or whether it be Allah Himself who declared those that follow the commands of Allah and fulfill the duties that they are given as Muslimin, huwa sammakum al-Muslimin. Unfortunately, we do not even understand what is Islam. Why were the Muslims always, no matter what, had great respect? Was it because of the akhlaq of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? That is true. But more than that is because we show that we are the followers of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam with our Islam. And as I mentioned last week, it is not only the outward rituals that are necessary, like the performance of Salah, the fasting in the month of Ramadan, going for Hajj, giving your zakat, and we think it ends at that. There's much more than that to Islam. Last week we mentioned even the smiling and meeting your fellow Muslim brother is part of your Islam. من حسن إسلام المرء أن تلقى أخاك بوجه طلق. من حسن الإسلام المرء. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam many places the beauty of the Islam of a person where he shows good character, where he smiles at his fellow human when meeting them. He is always happy, where he shows help to those who are needy. Where we have faltered is we don't realize what Islam is, and at the same time we don't realize what position Islam has given us, and we have even forgotten the history of Islam. And the history of the Islamic world and power is so great that how many of us even know that the decline of the Islamic power in this world was only happened in 1921. How many of us ever decided to look up and study the history of Islam? You know when Napoleon was born apart? And we can tell you all the heroes that cigarettes is name about them. What were their origins and how they ended up in America? As Muslim, no matter what, when a person says I'm a Muslim and I'm proud of it, is when he realizes what is a Muslim. The weaknesses are there, but have we realized who we are? We need to understand, and we need to learn. A person can only respect himself if he learns what his worth is. Why don't we show respect to our predecessors? Because we don't know what they did in this world. Concerning this, inshallah, more than having all other topics than this, for us to learn our path and what we have to show to the world that is in darkness. Light lies in our hands. But when we walk with darkness, where are people going to get light? We forgot our light behind. Informing us of the past and what we need to do, inshallah, if Allah wills. From next week, I wish to start this as a topic of discussion for the next few weeks. May Allah give us the true love of Islam, bless us with the quality of Muslim in our heart, and strengthen our Iman to an extent that we are willing to do whatever Allah wishes from us, even if it means the flowing of our blood. Wa akhiru da'wana.